Hello, everybody. Welcome to Political Football. My name is Dave. I'm here with Scott. We just finished our extensive pre-show meetings, and we're ready to go. How you doing, Scott?
Extensive. Yeah. Yeah.
I actually forgot to tell you that I wanted to push the new hire stuff until into the off season a little bit, since we just got some new stuff. So my fault if you prep some stuff. I assume that's okay, though. We can.
Listen, I didn't prep a single thing, and I'm not going to prep a single thing about new hire stuff when we talk about it in the future. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Well, I
Just
will
so
say,
you know.
well, one of the things I love about doing this show with you is that you might need me to remind you that the Giants hired John Harbaugh, but as soon as I do, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, A, B, C, D," like, and you'll be able to break it down. So
I
it
don't know
works out
about any
great.
of that, but you're definitely going to have to remind me, and I'm generally speaking not going to have a clue. So,
Yeah,
but that's all normal. We're good.
yeah. So we are gonna preview the on the show. We can say the Super Bowl on the stuff that goes up beforehand. We can't say Super Bowl. So um uh yeah, we're gonna preview the Super Bowl here. Super Bowl 60. Scott, the Super Bowl in Detroit was 20 years ago. How does it make you feel?
You know, um, my kids are 18 and 20, and I don't feel good about it. I mean, I'm happy for them, but like, uh, I'm 55, and it's like, uh, you know, where did it go? Everybody says that kind of stuff, but you don't really get it, or at least I didn't understand it until I thought to myself, man, they're going to be out of high school, and it's just crazy to think about. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, Super Bowl 40, 20 years ago, Super Bowl that also featured the Seahawks playing in Detroit. This year, of course, we have the Seahawks versus the Patriots out in Santa Clara, California. What do you know what the line for this game is?
is it 6?
It's 4.5 for Seattle. Does that seem like a good line to you? I thought it was a little low. I thought it'd be
I
higher
think
for
it.
Seattle.
I agree wholeheartedly. I would have thought it would have been more. Um, wow, and the over under is 45 and a half, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's the Super Bowl, so you just don't know. But um, I don't know. Like, do you see New England's offensive line being able to deal with what Seattle's defense does, given New England's issues on their offensive line?
No, I mean the thing is that I think Seattle is clearly the better team. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think there's any question Seattle's clearly the better team. And, New England's offensive line is a weak point versus what Seattle does on defense. New England's pass catchers are, the memories of Stephon Diggs, you know, Keyshawn Booty once every 3 weeks, and that's basically it, right?
Yeah.
Drake May has not played well in the playoffs. He's still the valid MVP, but he has not played well here in the playoffs.
I've been thinking about this apology letter I'm supposed to write to him, and I don't think I'm going to write it.
He's in the Super Bowl in his second year, and like they're literally good because of him. He has nobody to throw to. His lead running back is Ramondre Stevenson.
He's been very, very good this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I look
even
back at the things that I said about him, and it's not like I'm digging my heels in, because there were things I said that have turned out to be absolutely false.
yeah.
Or not false. They weren't false at the time, I guess, but they weren't accurately depicting what he could become so quickly, right? Like, so, but they weren't accurate in the moments that because I went back and I looked at his accuracy numbers, and I looked at some other things, because I've been thinking about it, like, what did you miss? Because it's always good to self-evaluate and figure out, all right, what did you miss outside of, being like a total moron? Like, what did you miss? And I don't know, man. Like the projection, it's almost like looking at Josh Allen after year 2 and saying, yeah, I guess I was wrong about the Wyoming film, right? Like, no, you weren't. Just nobody could possibly have predicted or thought that he was going to turn around his accuracy in some stuff. The things that May has done, though, are things that I did not think he was going to be able to do. So,
right. And I just didn't have any sense that he would not be able to do some of these more basic, be taught, be coached. I mean, he played football at North Carolina. That's not a real football school. That's not where you go to learn football. And he came into the league. Jesus Christ.
oh,
The league got some questionable coaching last year, got some coaching this year. And I think true or false, going into that draft, you would have taken JJ McCarthy ahead of Drake May.
No, I don't think so. No, I guess my issues was that were that he was being talked about as this, like, he was almost being talked about as a player who was going to come in and play at a ridiculously high level immediately. And I didn't think that was going to happen. Right. But I also recognized he was going very early. And I thought that he would have issues with accuracy. He would have issues with pocket presence. And by gosh, he hasn't really had any of those issues in year 2. So, but that's just, I mean, was I wrong? I suppose back then? Not necessarily, but I mean, I did a very bad job of looking at what he might be a short year and a half later, because he's been ridiculous. He's ridiculous. He really
Clev,
is.
how you doing?
Yo, what's up, fellas? What's going on?
It's cold.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of bits.
Yeah.
So do you guys remember, I think 3 off seasons ago, when I gave myself 2 calf strains drafting fantasy football teams?
Yeah.
Did you do it again?
That was 2 off seasons ago? Wow.
2 or 3. Okay. I gave myself a extreme either calf strain or possible like minor calf tear digging my car out of the snow.
Wow.
Like I can barely walk on it, and this is embarrassing.
I live
in Virginia now, but I'm from Michigan.
Were you like dunking basketballs in between, pumping out shovels, or what were you doing?
Because it was pure ice. Yeah. Like I didn't get hurt. There was no one single instance where I injured it. It was just after the activity, I came in, I sat down, and was like, my right calf is on fire. And it remains on fire. And I woke up at 4:30 in the morning with it on fire. I've been awake ever since. So
is that today?
Yeah. No, I heard it Saturday.
Wow.
Last Friday.
The calf's a problem. Even so, back when I was a young fella, many moons ago, I was playing football. This is probably when I was like 16 years old.
Okay, leather helmets, got it.
Pretty much. And I tackled somebody. I was laying on my stomach as I was kind of getting up, and a pile of people, I don't know what they were doing, but a pile of people kind of fell onto me, and somebody fell onto me with his knee, all of his weight in the very middle of my right calf. And I cannot describe what that felt like.
It's a contusion.
Dude, like it was, I felt like the muscle sort of blew up.
Yeah.
And I would say for months, I don't know for sure because it's so far in the rearview mirror, I have no idea. But for months, it went on where I would get cramps, and it wasn't just a normal cramp. It would be like, it was almost like the muscle was just freaking out. And I will never forget how bad that was. Like waking up in the middle of the night to that kind of cramp was just like, what do you do? But that went on for a long time.
Yeah, I have like the calf strain down the bottom of my calf going towards the Achilles, like that normal calf strain. But then in the middle of my calf, it feels like a constant Charlie horse. And when I step, it's like somebody stabbing the Charlie horse with a knife.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun. It woke me up in the middle of the night, so my energy is super low today. So I apologize to everybody.
Why didn't you throw some kid a couple bucks? Like, is that not a thing now with these kids now, this generation?
What about your wife? What is your wife doing?
Oh, geez, Scott.
Come on, man. I'm kidding. You guys know.
I hope you are.
Sorry, honey. I'll be quiet.
Well, to be fair, she is still only in her 30s, so maybe I should have put her to work out there. But yeah, no, it was Yeah, it's actually it hurts. It hurts quite a bit, and I've been hobbling at work. Like it was so bad at work that people that I'm not strangers, but like people when they say hi in the hallway or whatever, were like stopping to ask me what's wrong. Um. So yeah, so Jake is right. I feel like I'm an offensive lineman for the Chargers now because I'm down to one leg.
It's so harsh. It's just so harsh. Oh.
So for me, getting back to the Super Bowl here, Cleve, for me, the Seahawks are the better team across the board. They're favored by 4.5. They should win. But this game to me comes down to one thing. Do we get 2026 Sam Darnold, or is Sam Darnold going to start seeing ghosts in the biggest game of his career?
Say that again. The last part of that you chopped out.
Are we going to get 2026 Sam Darnold, or are we going to get Sam Darnold seeing ghosts again in the biggest game of his career?
I think the defense is going to carry him. He just has to do enough to not lose the game. I really think that when the lights are going to be really bright, this is a Super Bowl, obviously, big game. He's not been there. Drake May's not been there. Vrabel's been there, like as far as experience. So he's got a taste of what the atmosphere is going to be like. So I don't expect Sam to light it up. I'm not expecting like a 300-yard game, but I'm thinking just enough to keep it good, and let that defense bring it home. This is if they're smart. If they're trying to put the game in his hands, I'm not buying that.
Well, I'm sure they don't want to. I'm sure that's not the game plan. I just, he was great last year until the last 2 games of the year, and then he reverted back and got cut in favor of JJ McCarthy. And to me, this game, it's either, oh my God, Sam Darnold saw ghosts again and failed, and he will always he's the biggest choke artist in history, or monkey off the back, he finally gets over. Like there's no in between. I don't see him having like an average game, being okay, but then the Seahawks somehow lose.
Wouldn't you think that the Patriots have like a serious chip on their shoulder about this though? Like even Dave, the way we were talking coming in, like the line's 4.5, and you think it should be like 6 to 7, 7.5, maybe kind of thing. I don't know. I mean, they have good players on the Patriots have good players on their defense, on their defensive line. I mean, it's an interesting matchup, but I just think that in the end, I think that Seattle's offense will be a little too much for New England, and I think Seattle's defense is really, really good. But that all gets sort of balanced out and thrown away if Darnold has one of those games. It just does.
Answer the chat. Excuse me, Scott. I just saw it just now. Under 245. I'm not thinking he's gonna light it up. He's not gonna toss it all over the yard. I think he's just gonna do enough. They're gonna have a very conservative game plan for him not to blow the game. Because if he throws like a couple of pick sixes or something like that, then this could get out of hand really quickly because Vrabel's gonna dial it up. But I don't think he's gonna sniff 250 yards. I might be wrong, but going in hindsight,
can the Patriots, but can their offense push the Seahawks to have to utilize like a player like Jackson Smith? Who's going to cover Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Christian Gonzalez.
Are they really going to? Are they going to travel? I mean, is he going to travel with him? Is he going to?
I mean, why? We're going to stick him on Cooper Kupp for no reason? Yeah, I'm sure he's going to travel with him. But the Seahawks have nobody else to really threaten, right? I mean, Rashid Shaheed is fast, but I would send my best corner traveling with JSN on this team. It's still Metcalf.
Sponsored by FanDuel and DraftKings, he might be a really good bet. I'm kidding about the sponsoring thing. I don't know if we could get in trouble for that. But Rashid Shaheed might be a really good first touchdown scorer. Do you remember last year I had Jahan Dotson to score the first touchdown, and he caught that long pass and went down at like the half-yard line, and I had a small stroke. Maybe that explains the memory issues and me calling Mark Andrews Mark Edwards and that kind of stuff. I shouldn't make fun of it.
Yeah, we got.
What's funny about that, Dave, is I was calling him Mark Andrews and Mark Edwards long before the little mini stroke happened. All right, that's enough from me.
Yeah, weather won't be a problem in this game. It's going to be 67, get down to the 50s. Maybe a little showers up before the game, but nothing crazy there. unfortunately, I think this game is going to be somewhat predictable. I think that the Seahawks will control the game most of the way. They'll never really pull away. The Patriots will never really be out of it. But once the game is over, we'll look back and be like, the Patriots were never really in it either. And we're just going to get a calm, steady, sort of normal kind of, if it was a Thursday night game, we would have turned it off through the fourth quarter and gone to bed kind of game.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
an argument against that.
So the real important question is which halftime show are you guys going to watch?
I'm watching the Kid Rock.
No.
Are you kidding me, Scott? I'm not a halftime show guy.
Either am I.
Not.
Well, I don't know anything about Bad Bunny besides the fact that he is the largest artist, like most popular artist in the entire world. So I'm very curious to see his show because, obviously this is not my wheelhouse. This is not my sort of thing. So I'm very curious to see this big presentation and all this. But I will be watching Bad Bunny. I will not be watching Washed Kid Rock.
What's the over-under on like something political happening, like or like a little cryptic something political?
So it's a guaranteed lock because Bad Bunny will be singing in Spanish, and the worst people will make that into something political. Like the songs are in Spanish, he's just going to sing the songs, and they're going to be mad because they're in Spanish, right? So now there are rumors out there too that he's going to do at least part of the show while wearing a dress or like a half dress, half suit thing, which I guess is not uncommon for him. Like it's part of the shtick and whatever part of his thing. But of course, that will also send the worst people into an absolute conniption where a man is in a dress singing in Spanish.
I'll be getting more dip and chicken wings and stuff like that. Like I'm not a halftime show guy.
I imagine the show itself is going to be a good show. It's going to be, great stage presence and all that.
Oh, it's gonna suck like they always do. They all suck.
But the thing is, most of them don't. Kendrick didn't. Dre and Snoop didn't. Rihanna didn't. Lady Gaga didn't. Beyonce didn't. But
I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it. I'm doing exactly what Scott said.
Dave. It's not nothing against these artists. Yeah. I'm just not. I watched the very first one, and the reason why we do have a halftime show is because of Michael Jackson. Yes. And the guy stood there for 6 minutes without moving, and the crowd, people were fainting and getting ventilation and all of that. It's great.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Honestly, I don't think I would watch the halftime show if Tool was performing, which says something. I wouldn't. Scott, it's not something like I look forward to. I used to look forward to the commercials, but a couple of years now, I don't care for the commercials. Like it's just they've gotten too like I don't know, like they're not creative. And if I see one more Clydesdale, if I said it right, I'm gonna freak out because I guess is that the Bud Light horses?
Yeah. It's like what is who drinks Bud Light? Who drinks? I don't drink Bud Light. So.
I could not find a prop bet for this, but I think this is a good one. And we got some parents in the chat right now too. Which major brand is going to be the one that makes the cringy 6-7 commercial?
Oh gosh.
What? Okay.
Because one of them is going for it.
What is 6-7? Because I have no clue what that is.
It's brain rot for. Okay. It's something my idiot kid does. My idiot youngest kid does. Like the other day, I was trying to describe to him a defenseman I think the Red Wings are interested in. And his name is Logan Stanley from the Winnipeg Jets. And I referred to him as a 6'7", 230-pound guy. And my kid loses his shit over it. And he starts doing this. And I don't even know what he's doing.
Just scramble him? Maybe just scramble his head?
I think it's their way of describing something that's just sort of like meh.
So
but I don't know.
I wanted to hear from because I mean at this point we're all older and too old to be cool, but you guys are significantly older than me. So I wanted to hear you guys explain it. So there's a clip of a kid at a basketball game who. I don't know what the context is, but he started shouting 6-7. I think it was about the score, and he was doing the hand motion with it. And I don't know why. I don't know why things become famous, why things go viral, why things catch on, right? But it did. And so now it's like a call and response. Everybody says
I think he was doing that at LeBron James's kid.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Who is
so
listed at 6'7".
yeah.
Oh,
it-
okay.
yeah. But like might be 6'4", so is he 6'7"? Like, but it catches on, and so now it's a call and response. Anytime 6'7", 67 is said, you just shout it out and do it. Every generation has stuff like this, right?
Wow.
For you guys, because I would have been a kid for this, but this was more of like a young adult thing. It would have been the West
100%. That's
Budweiser
exactly
guys,
what it was.
Okay.
right?
All right. That
For
makes sense,
for
yeah.
when I was in my 20s, that's what she said.
Okay.
Right. That was a big one for us. Where's the beef would have been a big one like way back in the 80s. So
my dad had one.
yeah. So there's always stuff like this. I will say the 6'7" thing to me does seem pretty dumb, but I'm also old and washed, and this is the thing for young people. But that's what I mean. What like
Step two.
old, yeah, but what like old washed brand is like Geico going to try to do the 6'7" thing? Like what brand is going to try to be cool by doing this? But it's like, no, you're a bunch of old bozos in a boardroom trying to come up with something creative. It's not going to work.
Every time I did something as a kid, I might have mentioned this before, my dad would say, stop, you're a fuck up picking up speed. And that just stayed with me. That stayed with me forever, bro.
I don't know. I don't know if that's ubiquitous. I don't know if that made it the general zeitgeist, but that is a good one. A big one for me when I was a kid, like a small kid, was saying psych, like saying something wrong on purpose, saying psych after it.
Yeah.
It's the same idea like that, right? Where like adults think it's going to be, I think every adult's going to find it super annoying. Young people are going to think it's hilarious, probably because adults find it annoying. So I don't even mind it that much, but I just know that some absolute, it's going to be like
Verizon
a bank.
Verizon
does a good one.
Yeah, Verizon will do it, bro. If anyone that would do that will be Verizon.
Yeah. So I've done research on this already, not for the show, but just because I found it interesting. The oldest one of these I could find that made it widespread, that anybody today would still recognize, is going back into the 1940s, like right after World War II. And it's the shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I've heard that.
Apparently kids used to just knock out the first part, like on their desks in the classroom. And then some other kid would knock out the 2 bits, and like teachers were losing their minds, like telling them they couldn't do it anymore. Just like the 6'7" thing. So, I don't have an issue with it, even though I do think it's really annoying, but I think it's annoying because I'm old, not because it's actually annoying.
Oh, it is so annoying.
I also don't have kids at my house doing it.
Game, and you everywhere you look, I was just at one a couple days ago, and everywhere you looked, there were kids going like this, and it's just like, oh my god.
You guys remember that? And I don't want to say it because I'm probably gonna be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage.
Oh yeah, great.
Like
yes.
Yeah, that was awesome because that fit a lot of things perfectly.
Yes.
But yeah, okay. So now I understand. Finally, someone explained this to me, and Dave, you always never disappoint. So
yeah, and also the high during the game is 67 degrees.
Oh gosh, here we go.
So get ready, because when they announce that, like, welcome to Santa Clara, we're at 67 degrees, you're gonna get every single 18-year-old and under doing it at the Super Bowl parties and whatnot. So
nice.
We need to be ready for that. The main talking point about this game is even about the game itself, based on all the coverage I've seen, everybody talking about it. I'm sure you guys have thought about it. This is a rematch of the give the ball to Marshawn game.
Yeah.
Right. The Seahawks should have another Super Bowl win. They're 1-2 in Super Bowls. They should be 2-1. The Patriots should have another L. Right. And I'm wondering if organizationally that hangs over Seattle. I don't think it should, because like it's all different players and stuff now. But
it's a long time ago, isn't it?
But you gave up one.
10 years, 11 years.
That was that long ago. That was such a gimme touchdown because Marshawn's been bludgeoning that defense all that entire drive. One more at the goal line, with Russell probably leading the pack on that. So it's probably a guaranteed score. Yeah. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage.
Yeah.
So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it because I'm probably going to be out of touch, but it was the guy that says emotional damage. So I think, and I don't want to say it it hangs on it. I think it hangs on it because it's like, hey,
Yeah.
You guys could have had another banner in here somewhere, right? That's crazy.
It is crazy to think it's that long ago.
Yeah, it's same as I think today was Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl 19 years ago. And also 19 years ago today was that Super Bowl.
Cleve, are you drumming?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I got a nervous tick.
Yeah, the mic was picking up. I was like, is that his voice? Is he beatboxing? How is this? What is going on here? Yeah, because I think 2016. So I think 10 years ago was 28-3. Maybe that was 2017. But I thought 2017 was Philly special. Like, I don't know. It all kind of runs together, but it's in that. I think Beast Mode was like 2014, 2015, somewhere in there.
For context, and Dave, rein me back in if you need to. The fact that the Patriots, this is their 12th appearance, is insane.
Yes.
That's insane. And I think they're tied to 5 losses with the Broncos in losses. Mm-hmm. That's insane. That neither Robert Kraft or Belichick couldn't get in. And they've got that many. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I think this is pure conjecture. I think that voters for the Hall of Fame are extremely worried about Robert Kraft popping up in the files.
Oh, and I didn't even think of that.
And so they don't want to do anything with him right now, and then by extension, Belichick as well. I think Brady would be exempt if he was up, just because he's a player and it's different. But I think they want to wait and just make sure. And again, this is just conjecture, just because some of the stuff Robert Kraft has had happened in the past before down in Florida. Yeah. If I was voting, I'd be like, we have a bunch of billionaires wrapped up in stuff like this. He's been wrapped up in something, was he trafficking? He wasn't charged with that, but clearly there was some sort of pay for services kind of thing going on. Like, that's just
because on his ear, you can't put Jerry Jones in before Robert Kraft. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just looking at it. But Dave, that's an excellent point. I didn't even think of that, because that could actually. But even Brady, though, because he's friends with Trump. He doesn't want to talk about his friendship, but they're pretty good friends.
But
isn't the Giants partial owner already been named? Like, Steve Tisch has been named in this.
Yes, but the thing is, there's so many names in there because people connected to people and whatever. So just having your name show up in there isn't in and of itself necessarily. If you show up in a photo, like, that's one thing. But because he was a rich financier guy, like, what if for some reason he died before Political Football was a show, but let's say, like, he wanted to give us $500,000 a year to do the show. We could quit our jobs and do the show. And he was like, hey, listen, I'm this or whatever. And so we're emailing with him back and forth about arranging some money or whatever. And then we Google him, see his conviction, turn him down. But then the files come out, and now here's Dave emailing back and forth with this guy trying to get some money for a show. And now I'm in the files, even though I got nothing to do with what's going on.
The fact that they were emailing is kind of ridiculous. Like some of the stuff that's been said over emails, like the names. And I'm like, bro, this stuff lives forever somewhere, right? It lives forever somewhere.
Yeah. And so that's why I would think that they could just avoid the Patriots all together.
I didn't think of that. That's
right
a really
now.
good point. I didn't think of that, bro. I did not think of that.
You don't think it's a little bit pettiness too, with just the whole Deflategate, the cheating scandals, and all the stuff that's going on? There's a level of petty around the voters.
There is, Scott, but I think for the bigger thing for me is that Brady and Belichick, you take away those two events, they still have a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, for sure.
Brady's got 3 Hall of Fame careers as a player.
Yeah.
Belichick could have 3 because he's also the GM architecting some of those. They weren't paying people. They were like next man up, plugging guys in. So, like, that part of it is you take away Deflategate and the other stuff, they still get in. They still get just on the records alone. They should have their own wings.
Who either has been in the Hall of Fame and been taken out or denied entry to the Hall of Fame due to some sort of wrongdoing, either inside the sport or out of it? The only thing I can think of is OJ.
Did they take it away from him? Was he removed from the Hall of Fame?
I don't know if he was or not.
Either.
But if he wasn't.
Okay. So OJ killed 2 people and allegedly did not get pulled out of the Hall of Fame. That's worse than deflating some footballs for a
allegedly, because Ray Lewis allegedly killed someone too.
No, it's not alleged. OJ was convicted civilly, so OJ Simpson did kill 2 people. He was convicted civilly. Also, if he wasn't, he did kill those people.
Man,
great defense attorneys, but he did kill them people. What's he gonna do? Sue me? He's dead. Fuck OJ.
Alrighty then.
But if OJ's still in there after having killed 2 people, then Deflategate can get in there.
I don't think anyone's, and we could Google this, anyone in the chat can Google it. I don't think anyone's been kicked out. I don't think anyone that's in has been kicked out.
Okay.
Who is that?
It's Jake.
Oh, it's Jake. Does he even know who OJ is?
How old was Jake when the Bronco ride happened? I'd like to know.
Well, I was 11. So Jake's a little younger than me. So he would have been 6, 7, 8. 6, 7.
What year was that,
no.
Dave? What year was that, Dave?
That was June 17th, 1994.
I was 18. I just graduated high school.
Oh shit.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. No, I was 18. I was sophomore year of college, 94, because I graduated in 92. So yeah, I was.
Yeah.
So okay, he was in the 5th grade.
So we were the same age. It was like 2 days after I finished 5th grade. So
they
we
watched
were the
it
same.
on TV in class. Wow, it's great stuff.
Yeah, I remember I was in 7th grade for the verdict, and they, like, when the verdict was ready to be read, they just can't stop class, turn on all the TVs to Channel 1 News for the verdict to be read out live.
I went to work that night. I worked for the U.S. Postal Service. All you heard was the machines churning. You couldn't hear no one talking.
Yeah.
And it was the tensest moment. I was like, this is intense.
Yeah.
This is intense, bro.
Yeah. And so if he is still in there, or even if he's not, we should probably know that. But either way, like, murder seems to be the line. Deflategate,
still in there,
person
bro.
in.
No one's been kicked out. I don't think anyone's been kicked out.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it real quick, just so
okay.
we know. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Didn't even take his Heisman from him. He still has his Heisman.
He's still in. It says that their bylaws focus strictly on on-field performance.
There we go. The morality thing came later, I think, after like Ray Lewis or whatever.
Yeah.
The morality clause came in later.
Yeah.
Because that's what they used for T.O. And T.O. didn't have any issues.
So if that's the reason that they decided, we're not going to let Bill Belichick in, or at least not on the first ballot, anybody who voted that way for that reason should lose their vote. That's not okay. Like, that's not what you're there to do. Bill Belichick should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, obviously, like, quite obviously, like the most obviously. And
it's a lock. There's only a couple guys that are locks.
Yeah. And so if he's not, it has to be for a very, very, very good reason. I could just think worrying about Kraft and therefore just avoiding the Patriots this year is the only thing I think that makes sense. That wouldn't be that sort of pettiness that should lead somebody to lose their vote.
I just don't know how you can explain or justify the success they've had.
You can't tell their story in the NFL without them. You can't. As much as I hate it, you cannot. Like 200 years from now, that's still a thing. That, like, you can't omit their 20-year run or 22-year run. You can't.
I don't know how you can. It's so. This is why it's so frustrating that they're back again, having burned it all down. It feels like to just like, what are you? Are they like a Phoenix? What's happening here? Boom, they're back.
The Patriots back in the Super Bowl this quickly has real Trump reelected energy to it.
Well, they go like every 3 years on average. If you look at the run that they've had, like every 3 years are kind of in it.
Yeah.
How often are the Lions in it? I don't remember. Anybody know?
About as often as the Jets.
Jeez, I didn't need to catch a straight here, Scott. Thanks. We're the Lions.
Yeah, so Scott and I were Red Wings fans. The Red Wings made the playoffs like 27 straight years. They won 4 cups in 11 years, and then they were horrible for 15 years because that's how it should go. The Pistons go 15 years being horrible, then they pop up for a couple championships, and they're horrible again because that's how it's supposed to go. And the NFL is designed for this. You should not be great for 20 years, bad for 3 in the Super Bowl again. Meanwhile, we've got Lions, Jets, Chargers in the chat with 1 Super Bowl between us, and it was like before Clev and I could vote.
Yeah.
Do we think Brady's the best quarterback who's ever played? I do.
I do too. I thought, okay, so Scott, I just had this conversation with somebody, and so I had Montana ahead of him until the 28-3 thing, because like I've seen that game on NFL Rewind, like the speed run, and I sit there thinking I'm in an alternate universe that they're gonna hoist this trophy because this game is over. That was coaching at its best. That's players dialed in, and that's a quarterback putting the game in his hands in the second half of that game. So that to me edged out Montana because growing up, I thought Joe Montana was like the coolest thing ever. But I would have to give it to Brady on the sheer championship games. But
I think in some ways in his defense, I'm curious about what you think, Dave, about who you think is the best quarterback. But some of his weapons, especially in the Super Bowls, have just been like, it's remarkable. Like James White.
Yeah, I couldn't. You put those guys in front of me, I couldn't name these guys. I couldn't remember who these guys were, except for
it's just crazy.
Except for Jules Ellerman, like that's it.
So this is a bit of a semantic argument, but this comes up a lot for Scott and I because people argue about who the best running back of all time is. Is it Barry Sanders or is it Emmitt Smith? And when you watch them run the football, Barry Sanders is better.
See, I have a different take on that.
But when you look at
well, you're welcome to be wrong.
But yes, exactly. But when you look at accomplishments, it's obviously Emmitt Smith.
No, Scott. This is what makes this show fun because OJ is the best running back. The true 2,000-yard rusher in less games. That
you could be right.
Wait. He had to average games. He was the actual offense.
Nope, my turn.
Okay.
Barry Sanders in a 16-game season ran for 2,000 yards in the last 14 games. If you take out the first 2 games, he still gets over 2,000 because he did almost nothing the first 2 games in 1997. Barry also did 2,000 in 14 games.
Let me look up how many games OJ did it in an era where they took your knees out as well. But again, not to diminish, the reason I can argue for Barry as well is because Barry's negative yards is what guys couldn't get in a season. Barry's negative total. So if he had the line that Emmitt Smith had, Barry would have put up like 20,000 yards. He would have put up 20,000 yards. Seriously. So I would give it. I'm not discounting Barry. I just think OJ, because of that error and putting up, like he's averaging like 200, maybe 70-something yards a game. Like,
see, for me, I don't even tune into. I wasn't old enough to have even recognized how good he was. I'm being honest.
Here's what I'll say about this, Cleve, is that O.J. Simpson is also a better running back than Emmitt Smith. Right. And so is Bo Jackson, and so is Gale Sayers, and so is LaDainian Tomlinson, and so is Derrick Henry, and so is Jim Brown, and so is Christian McCaffrey, and Walter Payton. Right. Emmitt accomplished a lot because of the situation in which he found himself, and he had the talent and skill to take advantage of it. Right. I can say for a fact that Michael Irvin is not the best wide receiver ever, because if he was in that same situation, he would have had Randy Moss numbers. Right.
Have you seen Jake's latest little message to us? It's spectacular.
Yeah, Jake says the year is 2226. Mass migrations due to local warming have pushed billions to the North Pole. There are water wars. The Jets are still winless. Fans still talk about Brady and Belichick.
Come on, man. Why did Jets got to get catches straight today, bro?
So
I know we're idiots. Come on. Love you, Jake.
The word that should be used when you want to describe somebody's abilities combined with their accomplishments is greatness or greatest. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. A combination of his ability and what he accomplished. I also think Emmitt Smith is the greatest running back of all time for the same reason. However, Tom Brady is not better at playing NFL quarterback than 10 people off the top of my head I can name, right? Prime Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
Yes.
John Elway, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes are all better at doing quarterback than Tom Brady was, but they're not greater. Mahomes has an outside chance, I guess, but they're not greater.
I think the argument is that the pick he was 199, if I'm correct. Like the pick he wasn't supposed to do anything. And when his shot came up, the guy never looked back.
Yes, but that's an argument against him in this, because if instead of being picked by the Patriots, he was picked by the Lions, who had been selling insurance within 2 years. He was picked by the Jets. He's driving for UPS.
You can't help who you fall to.
If Drew Bledsoe never gets hurt, we may never know who he is. Something that was never going to happen to Peyton Manning, right? So this is not to denigrate Tom Brady. Tom Brady is obviously a very talented, very skillful, very good quarterback who accomplished more than any quarterback ever. He is not better at distributing the football to his people than Peyton Manning was or Dan Marino was.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, as we said earlier in the conversation, the fact that the guys he drug across championships, like, other than a couple of people that you can name, I couldn't tell you that receive. You could give me those names on a multiple choice, and I would get it wrong. You can give me those names in a multiple choice test and be like, was this guy true or false? Was this guy on the team? I have no idea. If it ain't Randy Moss and
Tom Brady's best year, he had Randy Moss.
Yeah, but they didn't. I don't think they won a Super Bowl that year.
No. They were the best team. They lost the Super Bowl, but that's still like one of the greatest teams ever assembled. And he had his best year with Randy Moss. That's not a shock.
That brings me to a impasse here. So, second year, Eli Manning doesn't get in. We all think that without the chips, he's a 500 quarterback. That's what the numbers say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think he should have gotten in. Because again, those two chips, although they're good currency, they were against the Patriots,
and
one of those chips was against the juggernaut Patriots team, like you just said, their best team, and he took them down.
Counter argument: Tom Brady's not the best quarterback ever because he lost twice to Eli Manning in the Super Bowl.
Well, I knew you were going to say that,
right?
So,
like again, that could be flipped on its head. The thing is that the NFL, you need so many other things to go your way. I think in the NBA, you can look at somebody who doesn't have a championship and judge them for it somewhat.
Can we say this? Sorry to cut you off, Dave.
No.
Can we say that Tom Brady might be the most accomplished quarterback in NFL
without
history?
Question? It's not even close.
That doesn't mean he's the best quarterback to ever play.
No, that's why it's a bit semantic. But I think
28-3 guys, you guys gotta. I mean, that's in a Super Bowl. That's not a regular game or
it's not.
Game.
Yeah,
that's in a Super Bowl where we watched that team literally like just come back from the edge of destruction.
However, for that to happen, one of the best now head coaches of the NFL, Kyle Shanahan, as an offensive coordinator, he had to lose his mind calling plays on the other side too. If Kyle Shanahan gets abducted by aliens and gets replaced by a potato that just runs the ball, that 28-3 can't happen. So Brady also needed Kyle Shanahan, who is a provably very great offensive mind, to completely screw the pooch, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about football is that it's so connected like that you have to have a way to measure who's really good at something versus who's great at what they accomplish. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever.
Which was like when you're down 28-3 and you're in a Super Bowl getting embarrassed, and your coach is like, we're going to just try to see what we can get going here. And your quarterback just gets dialed in and starts performing like what? So that's why most accomplished, yes, without a question. But
without a doubt, not even close.
Yeah, not even close. I think best, like I said, prime Aaron Rodgers, probably a better mechanically sound quarterback. But if I came up with
by the same token, we could say that Emmitt Smith might be the most accomplished running back in NFL history.
Yeah, sure.
Most
yards, right? 3 titles.
But that doesn't mean
it's just yards. It's just yards. Barry's, like I said, Barry's negative yards. You take his negative yards, and you had backs in the league that didn't have those numbers, the negative yardage that he had, the yardage that he threw away, right? Because he had to run for his life behind the offensive line. Like, that alone makes Barry special. And obviously, I would never say anything bad about the guy. I just think OJ, for me, because of the time that he played in, and he was actually the entire offense. And they had to ride this guy completely through. Before that was Jim Brown, but again, Jim Brown's playing against plumbers, right? I don't know. So I don't know.
If that's okay, I want you to imagine, put yourself in this position. You're currently a practice squad running back on the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
And a genie shows up and goes, listen here, Dustball. I'm going to grant you a wish. You can have the skills. You can have the running back skills and abilities and everything of one of the two following people. Do you want Emmitt Smith's skills and abilities or Barry Sanders?
I want Barry Sanders.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Without
undoubtedly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Without question. Without question. Right. And so that's, to me, where you have the difference between best and greatest. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever because the accomplishments are part of it. Tom Brady is not better at playing the quarterback position. I don't think he's better than Patrick Mahomes. I think Mahomes now is better than Brady ever was. But Brady's accomplishments will probably never be matched. He's got the most yards. He's going to play to his 45, 27 Super Bowls.
We can move off this now. But the thing about, and I don't know if Scott might agree with this, like, I like watching some of the old games, like just when I have time, older games, right? Where I didn't know till a few years ago, several years ago, that the quarterbacks of yesteryear, they called their own plays. Mm-hmm. Like they were the ones out there setting it up, and they were telling guys, listen, there's no. So I'm like, what did the coach do? Where Namath is calling his own stuff, and I'm like, what's the purpose of the coach?
Not all quarterbacks called their own plays, because obviously Vince Lombardi famously called his. Hank Strahan called his. Yeah. I know Unitas did call his own plays. Unitas, for sure.
Namath, and the guy from the Chiefs, Len Dawson. Yeah, Lenny called his own. Great picture of him on the sideline with a bogey,
smoking,
and and a beer.
And I think there's a beer can underneath him too. Yeah.
Bro. Anyways, to answer your question, the best quarterback of all time is Michael Vick if he was born 15 years later.
Yeah.
He arrived too soon. He arrived before it was common to call running plays for quarterbacks in the NFL.
Can you imagine?
All his great runs were scrambles.
Holy
Jesus. He came in the league in 2001. If he came in 2016, if he came in 2017, the same year as Allen and Mahomes and them, Michael Vick would be the greatest quarterback we've ever seen.
True that. That's a great shtick there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I looked up some of my favorite prop bets for the Super Bowl here. I only have one legitimate one that really jumped out to me that I really liked, and I bet. And again, remember the rule: if you make a bet, because I did or any of us did, and you complain when it loses, you have to fight Clev.
Never gets old.
My favorite prop bet that I found was George Holani 2 or more touchdowns at 60-1.
All right. First of all, who is that?
The backup running back for Seattle.
Yes. So Zach Charbonnet is out for the rest of the season. So he's now the backup running back. He's a pass catching specialist. George Holani was a star running back at Boise State. He ran for like 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns one year. And then Ashton Genty showed up, and George Holani disappeared for 2 years until he appeared on the Seahawks practice squad. But They clearly trust him in the passing game. They trust him in pass protection. Their starting running back, Ken Walker III, is horrible in pass protection. And they call plays designed for Helani. He's going to be on the field enough. I think 60-1 on 2 touchdowns for him is a decent prop bet. I think that Scott's Shaheed for the first touchdown. I don't know the odds on that, but I think Shaheed as the first touchdown score is also pretty sharp.
Has he seen a lot of action?
More and more, because as remember, he got traded at the deadline. So like as the season goes on, he's going to see more and more involvement in the game. But you can see him dialing up a big play to Shaheed early. He might also just return the opening kickoff.
Because I think if we do that, I think Vrabel stacks the box and just forces them to pass, forcing Donald to actually play quarterback.
Which is why I think that the Shaheed for the first touchdown is not a bad shout. Now, I would want to get a little bit more off the board for first touchdown, and I think that's somebody you can get a good number on right now, even though I don't know off the top of my head, is Hunter Henry, because he's been dog shit for like 10 straight weeks. But if they get in the red zone again, their wide receivers are the memories of Stephon Diggs and a bunch of short rookies, and then Kayshon Boutte. I could see Hunter Henry getting loose for a touchdown as well in this game. And if he happens to be the first one, you're probably getting better odds on that here than you otherwise should be. Now, Scott, you're our resident rap expert. How many times during this broadcast, not counting the halftime show, but during the game or game action, will the camera cut to Cardi B?
I have no idea.
Do you know who Cardi B is?
Maybe.
Do you know why Cardi B would be at this game?
No. Is it because she's one of Stephon Diggs' baby mamas?
There you go, Scott.
And she is by far the most famous. She is, yes.
There you go.
Yes, they are together. And so that is why.
Yeah.
So that's good. That over under I saw was at 1.5. I actually went to bet all my savings on the over, but you could only bet it in Ontario.
Do you need me to go? You want me to run up to Ontario for you?
Like, I was like 1.5.
Yeah.
There's no way during the course of this game it's only going to be one.
What
2 times.
Site did you find this on?
I think it was FanDuel, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that not a bet you can make in the States?
No, you cannot bet that in the States.
Okay. Well,
at least not any state I would looked at.
How do you? Never mind.
Our gambling laws here are actually still very restrictive, Cleve, compared to a lot of other places, both where you can gamble, how you can gamble, what you can gamble on, how much you can gamble. It's way better than it used to be, where it's basically prohibited anywhere except for in Las Vegas or in Atlantic City. But there's still a lot of things you can't bet on, like what color you can bet on what color the Gatorade will be that's dumped on the winning coach.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Orange and blue are co-favorites.
It should be like pink. It's like it's gonna be something crazy. Remember that year a guy won? I think it was Seahawks Broncos when the first play was a safety.
Yes.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? The odds of that as the first play?
Yeah. The over-under on peak viewership during the halftime show is 135.5 million Americans.
Wow.
There's only 340 million of us.
No kidding.
I did not appreciate, even though I didn't appreciate just how famous Bad Bunny is. Bad Bunny is without question the most famous music artist in the world.
Right
Lapping
now.
Taylor
Really?
Swift.
That's crazy.
Lapping Taylor Swift. I mean, not even close.
Just currently, right? Not all.
Like since the pandemic.
Okay.
Like for this entire decade, and it's not even close because I'll be careful how I say this. I don't like Spanish language music that much because I very much like lyrics and I can't understand them. Right. So even though the beat might be great, if I can't really get the lyrics of a song, I'm not really into it. Right. And so since I can't understand the Spanish songs very often, it's just not really my thing. So I had no idea. But like on the top 10 streamed songs on Spotify worldwide. He has 4 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You know who
impressive.
all time is, right? You know who is? You know who's the most famous musician all time is, right? Because we just talked about all time and best and all of that.
The most popular?
The best all time.
The best all-time musician?
Yes. Pop star.
The best all-time musician.
And it's not even debatable.
The best?
Yes.
Musician.
You better no. The best pop star.
That's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without question.
But Bad Bunny is going to be the closest anybody has been to Michael since Michael. And I did not realize it. I had no idea. I didn't realize it until he was announced for the halftime show. I started looking into it and seeing like just how massively worldwide popular this guy is.
Wow.
Nobody will ever touch Michael because Michael did it before the internet, which is insane.
Another sold 135 million copies when you have to physically go get a copy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I used to love going to the music store and just hanging out and listening and picking stuff out. And it was a whole experience.
And then you go down to the soda jerk, get yourself a malted.
The soda jerk. That guy was always a jackass, but whatever.
Oh, man, that's a good one, Dave. Humdinger.
Keep your clothes in the chiffon robe. Let me see before we got out here. Let me see if there's any other really good ones. Other national anthem ones. Charlie Puth is singing the national anthem. Scott, I know you're a huge fan. And the over under on him was 2 minutes exactly on the dot. But then my favorite was the first coach shown during the national anthem, Mike McDonald or Mike Vrabel. I don't see how it's not
Vrabel for sure.
Yeah,
It's gonna be Vrabel for sure.
Patriot, Yep. Not even
And he just has a I don't regret Iraq face. Like his face was made to be shown during the national anthem.
Yeah.
So So I thought that was an easy one. Then it said first quarterback shown during national anthem. Now to me, that's going to be Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
They're going to go Vrabel, then Darnold, then McDonald, then May. If I had to guess, the order there. First Bay Area landmark shown: Golden Gate Bridge or Alcatraz?
Golden Gate.
Yeah.
Golden Gate is a heavy favorite, but you can get plus 400 on Alcatraz.
Might be worth it.
You can't show the Bay Area without showing the bridge, bro. Like it's like showing New York without showing the Statue of Liberty. You got to show that.
Escucha me, Cabron. I said I can't understand it. I didn't say I couldn't read it. I know what this says. All right. I can read Spanish. I just can't understand it when I hear it. I can speak it okay too. So I know what this says. Anyways, that's why you keep voting for Gavin Newsom. Did you, Scott? Do you know what this says?
No, I know some of it, but not enough to.
Yeah, I don't want to get the show shadow banned, so I'm not going to bring up the Department of Homeland Security agencies referencing there.
Thank you.
But yes, but he's saying that my hairline is disappearing faster than children disappear in their custody.
Oh my God.
It's actually a great line, but I think he thought I wouldn't understand it because I can't understand Spanish when I hear it, which is really weird. Like, why can't I understand it when I hear it when I can read it? I wonder if that's a TISM thing. I'll have to look into that.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
All right. So let's say you're 55 years old, you're married. One kid's off in college, the other one's about to leave for college. You're sitting in your living room one day, or great room one day, watching TV with your wife. Yes, I'm talking about myself. And I say something, and she looks over to me and she says, "Do you ever consider that you might be autistic?" Wow. How do you take that?
Well, obviously you didn't do a perp walk, so you're here, so we're good.
Yeah. But
so a couple things. We do tend to seek each other out because we enjoy each other's company. Now, Clev is one of the least autistic people I've ever met. Clev is one of those neurotypical people I've ever met in my entire life. So his presence here does sort of undercut this. It's definitely possible, However, given like your accident sort of mess with your brain too, it's also like what is kind of what you would need to like go way back, like before that into childhood and start looking for some of the signs too.
Well, there's one specific thing that I do that is really weird. I don't want to say weird. It's the wrong way to say it. There's just one really interesting thing I do, and it has to do with numbers, specifically phone numbers. And I don't know. I don't remember anything about anything. But if I've typed your phone number into my phone before, I don't need to type your phone number ever again because it's in my brain.
That's different.
Right?
So
and it's like,
yeah. So this spectrum includes ADHD. So the spectrum is ADHD, autism, and OCD, and they all kind of work together. If you have one, you typically have some of the others. But again, it's a spectrum. So I don't have a lot of OCD. Some, not a ton. ADHD out the wazoo, right?
Yeah.
What that thing you mentioned for phone numbers, the focus is on the memorization, but the almost inherent need to have to remember it, which is why you remember it, is more of an OCD thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's because I don't think you remember phone numbers because it's this driving interest and you're like, I get so much dopamine from doing it, but it's more like, I see this phone number, I must memorize it. I have to memorize it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's more of an OCD indicator.
I'll tell you. So here's a story. Like when I was, this is pre-accident. So we went to Daytona Beach when I was 17, and we ordered pizza from some joint a couple times, and we went to Daytona Beach the next year, right? And we stayed in the same hotel. And the first night we got there, everybody wanted to order pizza, and you guessed it, I knew the phone number.
That's a year later. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely something, but on its own, I would actually be more inclined to think that's something closer, more in line with an OCD sort of thing.
Yeah.
But again, where you find one, you normally find some of the others just in differing, every person's got different, that isn't neurodivergent, has a differing amount. I think that's enough right there to probably talk to a professional about. Not because you
get help.
Understanding brings clarity, and clarity can bring joy. You might discover other things that you feel that same compulsion for, but you can't successfully do, that might be creating an underlying sense of sadness that you don't even realize is there sometimes.
Or tension.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you might only be able to do it with phone numbers, but you maybe try to do it with people's names, but then you forget somebody's name and it triggers this like, and you don't, there could be any number of things there, but that's definitely like,
I know you're not a movie guy, Dave. You ever seen, you ever heard of the movie? I think it's called Phenomenon with John.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Like, yeah. He when he had to name all the mammals, like, do you want me in alphabetical order? I'm like, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you just learn Portuguese in 20 minutes? Not all of it.
It's great stuff.
Yeah. So I think, Scott, I think that's enough to, do some online assessments and that sort of thing. But I would not think, from having known you for over 20 years now, I would not think that it's to a level to where anything, even if you do have any of the neurodivergences, that it seems to be impacting your day-to-day life.
No, but it's just there are things that are like, well, that's a little odd,
But it's also very possible that you have been able to, somewhat fortunate, been able to adjust your life around them and been successful anyways, right? A lot of us can't hold down a 9 to 5. It's very hard, right? So instead you go to write, or you do radio stuff, you do sort of kind of come and go, and when it's better. So you might have set up an accommodation without realizing it was an accommodation, right? There could be something like that. But Mr. Get up and go to the gym every day so I can dunk when I'm 55 down there. No, he's not. Clev is one of the most stereotypical people I've ever met.
That dude left a long time ago.
I meant neurotypical, not stereotypical. He's kind of stereotypical in the jersey, but I meant neurotypical.
Yeah, I understand what you meant, bro. No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note, we need official Super Bowl predictions. I will go first. I mentioned earlier, I think the Seahawks will be in control of this game. The Patriots will never be out of it, but after the game, we'll look back and be like, they're never really in it. I say Seahawks 30-17.
I'm gonna go Seahawks 27, Patriots 21.
Is that 27-21, Patriots have the ball and get stopped, or is it 27-24, Patriots score after the 2-minute warning, kicking onside, don't get it, game over?
It's not a close 27-21.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Cleve.
Patriots 35, Seahawks 14.
Wow.
Yeah. I just think Vrabel's going to dial it up on this kid, on Darnold.
It's possible.
I think this. So this is actually a very interesting test case as a Jets fan. You'd rather see the Patriots win another Super Bowl than see Sam Darnold.
It's nothing against Sam Darnold. I just think I'm representing, obviously riding with the division, but when it's really the coach and their story, their arc.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks, I get it. You know, Darnold has an intriguing story. Minnesota shows him the door after 14 wins, you know, which is crazy now. Like in hindsight, like show this guy the door, really, and it's what you got stuck with. But I just think that the coaching is going to come down, and I think Vrabel's going to really dial it up because we kind of saw it coming when they got to the Super Bowl. On their run to the Super Bowl. So yeah, I just think obviously Seattle's defense is going to be huge, but I think the Patriots get out early and they're going to score often. But I think Darnold's not going to shoot out with May. He could, but he's not. He's not. I think he's going to get skittish at some point, thinking that he has to win the game, and the defense just ride the defense. So, like I said earlier in the show, when the show started, if he rides the defense and just does game manager level shit, they win. But if he tries to play hero ball, they're cooked. Because he's going to turn into a pumpkin.
So the Patriots 35 is not them putting up 5 touchdowns on the Seahawks defense. It's a couple short fields from turnovers from Darnold, maybe a pick six, something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of the recipe and the thought behind that.
I mean, I guess it does make some sense that if the Seahawks lose this game, they lose it big.
Yeah,
right.
That's
the irony. All their losses are blowouts. Yeah,
that's the irony of it. So you just spot on where I was going with that.
Yeah.
If they lose, it's not going to be a close loss. They're going to get their asses kicked.
Yeah, that's I can see that for sure. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. Please be sure to like the show, share the show with people, leave comments. All that stuff does help us out immensely. Jake in the chat, thank you. Everybody else watching, thank you so much. We'll be back next week where we'll recap the Super Bowl. If it's a really good, super exciting, fantastic game, that might be the entire show. If it's a blowout stinker, we'll do the head coach review next week as well. And if not, we'll push that to the week after if the game is really good. Cleve, do you have anything else?
We could obviously discuss this next week if it lends to time. I don't see how Philip Rivers can get an interview and Byron Leftwich doesn't get it's such.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that is definitely for when we discuss the head coaching situation. Yes. Byron Leftwich on a broken leg, not better than Tom Brady, but pretty impressive.
Facts.
Being hauled down the field by his offensive lineman, but can't get an interview later. Like, what? You don't think he's committed to the cause?
Yeah.
Scott, anything else?
No.
All right. So, yes, we will see everybody next week to recap the Super Bowl and or potentially go over the new head coaching candidates. Peace.
All right. Later.
See you guys.